thanks for taking the time this morning.
Thanks
to
for
meet
the
me.
invite.
Yeah, here at Barton Springs for a second conversation. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is Dr. Richard Massey, and just a legendary human being, just at his soul and spirit and heart, just beautiful. And I've been touched by witnessing you in our community, just being yourself. And there's something to be said about that that just warms my heart. And your sense of humor, your zest for life, and just general joy. Most of our conversations, whenever you come back from Casa, you'd just be coming back from Barton, and you're swimming and going to watch those fish.
Yeah, watching the fish.
And I think it's the ones with the little knobs on their head.
I know, right?
Those are cool looking.
They are looking. They are.
Yeah.
And, they change a little bit during mating season. The colors change. And then they start behaving differently. Get their little space where their eggs are, and like they'll look at
protective,
you.
yeah.
Get too close,
Don't you get too close. It's a whole world down there. There's a thriving ecosystem.
Yes.
And I think, I've been coming here for many years. I mean, I was born and raised here, so I grew up swimming in Barton. And just recently, I got a pair of goggles and flippers and submerged down into the depths and just was amazed by the life that's down there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful parallel to just life in general, where it's like most people are going to be perfectly content getting their sunshine here and then going and getting just a quick dip. But the richness of life that's beneath the surface down there, I mean, it is thriving.
Yeah. There comes a moment when the depth calls us, and you got to go.
Yeah, and you got to go.
You got to go.
You got to plunge.
It's fun staying on the surface. There's a lot of beautiful stuff on the surface.
Yeah.
And there comes a time
where you got to plunge. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, to give people just a little context about Dr. Massey, he was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Became a doctor and was practicing anesthesiology for a while.
Right. Yeah.
And then pivoted towards different modalities and calling and things that just, I think, inspired you, from family constellations to near-death experiences to looking at the heart and the blood work to see how people, what's happening under the microscope, specifically in terms of healing.
Yes.
Which we'll go into.
Okay.
We'll see where that leads, but to soil health. I mean, we've had...
I got my Save Soil shirt on here today,
So I really appreciate there's like this holistic approach in terms of like the things that you choose to invest in and care about, and it elicits exciting conversations. So I'm happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, man.
And what a nice setting. It's not the typical podcast setting.
Right. And I usually pick a spot, or I ask my guest, what spot means the most to you? Let's go there.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit, I pushed a little bit harder this time around, and was kind of adamant about us being at Barton Springs, just because, I mean, I know what this place means to you and what it means to me, and it just felt fitting for our conversation. It's something about being in nature.
I know.
Almost all of my conversations happen in nature, on a mountain, in a meadow, or, and I think there's something that where us rooting in Mother Earth and merging our fields and channeling whatever wants to come through in that harmony.
See, you just made that OB-GYN movement there, pulling the baby out.
That's it. We're pulling the wisdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been about a year and some change since our last conversation. So I'm curious, what's been alive for you this past year and a half since we've last met? Where has your heart guided you, and what's brought you the most joy and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, been spending time with the family. Most of them live in Kerrville, including a great-grandson who just turned 3.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
And he was the one who was born with the 4 heart defects, and kind of the whole family kind of came together around that. So I spend time there. I met Molly and Rylan Englehart, who have the Sovereignty Ranch down by Bandera. So they're doing the Save Soil thing, and got the whole thing going. And that's where Alex Zeck and the Way Forward, they put on that Confluence event every April or May. This last time there were 1,100 people. You would love it there. I don't think I've ever, except for the near-death conference, which I brought my near-death bag so people can see the ions bag, because that's coming up if you want to go to the big meeting. The International Association of Near-Death Studies will be in Seattle, August 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of this year.
Amazing.
Last year in Chicago, 900 people. Most of them had already been dead at least once.
Wow.
Really nice people to be around.
Yeah.
You know, it's about kindness. They come back and they're different.
Yeah.
You know, and they have some gifts most of the time.
Right.
So anyway, but going to Confluence, I was around more people who are living their heart life, even if it's uncomfortable. They're just following their heart, and when that many people are gathered in one spot and they're all doing that, there's a vibration or an energy or something that's different.
Absolutely.
And I'd been on this one podcast called Here for the Truth, and so some people already knew me, and they already knew about the heart coherence thing, right? So I'm just walking out there, I don't know anybody, and they'd come up and they'd start telling me their deepest story.
Oh, wow.
Just right off the bat.
Yeah.
And we'd put a little heart coherence thing on. They'd see that, boy, their heart was just so in that. And then there would be this resolution, and that puzzle piece was in place, and they were on their way. And it just happened over and over like that.
Wow.
It's like the field was so powerful and so full of love that stuff that would take hours on a one-on-one basis just happened in a couple of minutes, right?
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah, so I got to see that and be part of that. It was kind of baffling and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, I guess what was your biggest takeaway from that experience?
Well, the biggest takeaway is I'm going to join that community.
Yeah.
Which I did. So there's a virtual one, and then there's in-person gatherings. And I heard Eileen McCusick, you know, you and I were toning to Vital Awakenings album, where she does these tones for the different parts of the body to make your biofield intact. She had a tent there, a healing tent there with tuning forks and all this, and so I got to meet her, and you know, either I missed that day in med school, like I cut class, or we skipped that part. You know, that everybody has this biofield and you have to take care of it. And there's ways to do it that are enjoyable, like you do, diving in the water over here. That's biofield therapy. Being here under these trees is biofield. You know, we're being loved on in ways we can't appreciate.
Right.
Some of the near-death people, they come back and they can literally tell you the names and what your ancestors look like and your spirit guides, because they can literally see them coming back from the other side.
Wow.
I don't have that, but I like being around people who have that, because they tell me love stories. Love stories that I can't see with my physical eyes. But when they say it, it changes things. That people just get in greater harmony with themselves and their life. Last year in Chicago, 2 of the telepathy tape autistic healer people came, and so I'm walking through all the booths and being educated. You know, I'm looking at these 2, and they're, you know, and they're just, you know, their parents are there, and they're like in their 20s, and they're just sitting there looking, you know, and it's like, God, they're looking through me, or I'm irritating them or something. So I kind of kept my distance. And Annette, my lady love, you know, she's Enneagram 2 personality, a helper, a lover, you know, she just walks right over there and gets to know them and all this, and that's fine. So I have 2 friends in Chicago whose baby died 2 or 3 weeks old and never got out of the NICU. It was her first baby.
Oh.
And just, this huge thing happened. They decided to come out the last day of the IONS gathering, the near-death gathering. And I thought, oh, I hope they, meet, I don't know what to do. I hope they meet somebody really good. But as soon as they show up, Annette goes, she grabs Mark Anthony, this famous medium. We'd gone to his thing. Said, hey, your conversation, great. Come out here. There's 2 people who need to talk to you.
Yeah.
She just does that. And he hooks her up with a group of like 1,100 parents who've had babies die. And there's a whole community. And Suzanne Giesman she's a 20-year naval officer that no woo-woo in her.
Yeah.
And what she does now is take people on cruises and teach them how to connect with their deceased child.
Wow.
If you see the pictures of the parents before they go and after, they're different people.
Oh my goodness.
So there's the other side, whatever that is, I'm just using those words, is so real and so powerful. Like, are you a Lord of the Rings guy?
I love Lord of the Rings.
Okay. They would have lost Middle Earth.
Okay.
If it hadn't been for the dead guys fighting for them.
Yeah.
The ones who had violated their oaths, the betrayers, right? And every family has those. So in constellations, the big healing happens when the person opens their heart to the person who was most excluded and most judged in the family. That's when their life turns around, that pedophile uncle. My dad who cheated on mom, those stories, and we just push that away. When there's a place made in the heart to include that person, doesn't mean we ever have to be around them physically. But inside myself, if I have a non-judgmental place for them, everything changes.
Yeah.
Those have been the biggest, fastest healings I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And when somebody makes a heart-to-heart connection with a deceased relative, sometimes it's instant, like stuff that's called incurable. It's just not there in the next instant. And you go, how does that happen?
Wow.
And those are like 10 or 15 years ago. And I didn't tell anybody because what am I going to say?
Yeah.
I don't have church language for that. I don't have medical language for that. I just look like a babbling idiot. No way to speak about it. And so now I'm doing some podcasts and telling people what happened at an experience level.
Yeah.
And then they can decide what they want to do,
Do you think that
That's
the timing has lined up perfectly in terms of where we are as a collective to be able to even hear these things? Not only that have you found language to express this, but now our hearts are more in a position.
Yes.
Whether you I don't know if you believe as a collective we're heading in that direction or that we're here.
Yeah.
Do you think that timing was perfect, aligned timing?
Yeah. And I love what Adyashanti said once. He was saying, we're fortunate to live in this time because when you're talking about having these experiences of oneness with the divine, they don't crucify you anymore. They just kind of call you crazy, let you keep going.
There's more tolerance now.
Yeah, we've made some progress.
We've made progress. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the old medical paradigm is obviously crumbling under its own weight, and in the hearts of beautiful people are in that field. Some of the most beautiful people I ever met were in the hospital, doing surgery and taking care of people with the tools we had.
Yeah.
But they did it with integrity,
For sure.
And now we're realizing, there's a whole nother set of tools that's way kinder and way more effective. So, it's starting to come that way.
Yeah. And I think that, there's been an evolution where it's like, what's being taught is all that these people, there's genuine intent. Yeah. But it's all that they know. Yeah. And so it's approached in that way.
In that way. And in constellations, it looks like it takes 4 generations after war to soften and come back to some balance, some harmony. So my father and my mother's siblings and my father's siblings, all in World War II, Korea, Vietnam. It'll take 4 generations typically to soften that out completely. And so a lot of the education that I got is an expression of that pain.
Right.
It's battlefield medicine. When you look at it, you go,
Yeah,
wow, it would have really fit if it had been out on the battlefield.
Right.
And we're just
that's interesting.
still looking backwards,
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more, the audience a little bit more, just about family constellations? And I mean, you're still regularly meeting with groups at
Sure.
Casa de Luz.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I have my little book here too.
A little bit about what that work is, and
Yeah. So this is this little book here by Joy Manet called Family Constellations. You know where the camera's focused.
Yeah.
It's a nice little $8 primer, I think, on Amazon. People can get that. And also, if you watch the drama series Another Self on Netflix, it's the closest thing to actual constellations and what they do. So the three main areas that are affected by my inner image of my family tree. Not what's really going on.
right.
It's what my nervous system carries from conception to about 1 year old of my family tree. I don't have any conscious control over what gets downloaded into that subconscious,
Yeah.
right?
No.
And that's what shows up in a constellation. So when we choose people to stand in and represent family members, and my parents may be on the opposite side of the room. That's the image I inherited. I inherited a sense of separation between them, right? In that field of us gathering, it's possible for them to come back together. Then I have a completely new image on the inside of me,
Yeah.
and I start calling in different partners. Until that changes, my subconscious is going to call in a partner that I know I can stay separate from.
Interesting.
And I don't think it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't pick a good partner. No, I'm in loyalty love with the 2 people who brought me life, and they are separated from each other. Right? That's my inner image that I don't even know is there because
Yeah.
it's subconscious, right?
Right.
So until somebody finds a way to find out what their subconscious image is, it runs everything. Like the CIA and the NSA, we don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get the tax dollars and they do some stuff, and we're going, how did that happen, you know? And that's how our lives go,
Right.
you know? So those 3 areas, finances, relationships, and health. And health is kind of how I got into it.
Yeah.
Seeing these sort of like, okay, wait a minute. No, you had this diagnosis, diagnosis. It took me a while to see that word.
Yeah.
So every time I say it, die is the first part. So part of my body or my whole body is dying. Agnosis, state of agnosis. I don't know why. The doctor doesn't know why. So they're telling us, if you accept this label, it's like a contract. We're making you an offer that you or part of your body can die, and you'll be just like us. We don't know why it's happening. We got some stuff to help you feel better, but... So if you want to die as an agnostic to your own body,
Man.
you know?
Yeah. Sign that contract.
I know, right? And we can hear them flying over. May they do well, whoever's in there. If you've ever ridden in a medical helicopter, God bless them, man. That's an intense service to humanity.
Yeah.
Resuscitating people on a helicopter,
gosh.
trying to get them to a hospital. So, family constellations, I call it shamanism for white people. So, Bert Hellinger, you know, he and his family were kicked out of Germany in the Hitler days, and he became a Jesuit priest. And they built this big school in Africa where the Zulus lived, and because Bert had this schoolmaster personality. He was like a principal. You know, you talk to this guy, and it's like you're in the principal's office. You know, he's got a loving edge, but, you know, and a paddle. And they said, now you go change these Catholic kids into good Christians, these savages, you turn them into good Catholics. When he got there, he saw happy children. He had never seen that before. Like, okay, they're playing cooperative games. They look joyful. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And he had the, humility to go, this is kind of what I'd like to see all over. I don't necessarily want to turn everybody into a Jesuit.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if everybody was cooperative and joyful.
This. Yeah, exactly.
So he started watching them.
Yeah.
So like if a little kid inherited something in their programming between conception and 1 year old, they would notice it when they're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and the medicine man, medicine woman would get together all the relatives and they'd go, all right, you see a little, what's going on with that? Who in here can relate with that? And Grandpa raises his hand. They go, okay, Grandpa, take that back at it from him. You take that back. You're the big one. Take it back. And then you give it to me and I'll change it into something. We'll get it out of the village, right? And then the next day, the kid doesn't behave that way. He's cooperative and joyful again. If this original program is not reprogrammed, life is going to suck. It's only good for our beginning. So it's like the first part of the rocket that's supposed to get us out into orbit, and then it's got to fall off.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fall off,
yeah,
we're all going to crash.
We're all going to crash.
That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
So this original program has a loyalty love, a mafia level loyalty love to mommy and daddy, grandma and grandpa, the whole family tree that gave us life in that time period. And it will not change from that until it experiences a higher love. That's what happens when the medicine man gathers the relatives. There's a higher love, and the little one's nervous system is just going to have all those software programs removed and changed into something else. And we don't do that here.
Yeah.
You and I were born in an empire building culture. Human development, where is that? It's under the carpet somewhere. we got to have powerful weapons and go take some shit. And that's how we roll,
Yeah.
And Howard Zinn, the guy that wrote the People's History of the United States, he said, you can't be neutral on a moving train. So you and I were born on this train that was already in motion, and it takes us a while to learn the value of stillness. Next time the train stops, I'm going to get out and just sit here for a while and see what's real.
Yeah. Oh, there's a heavy truth to that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what family constellations helps us do. I would encourage everybody to find a family constellation therapist, unless you're happy. So the first rule we learned is we never work with happy people. We need happy people just being happy. Go around and be happy. You're infecting everybody. It's contagious. Keep doing it. If you get stuck, come see us. We can help move the stuck piece, and then you go be happy again, just like the little Zulu kid. So the joke is they changed him into a Zulu. He dropped out of the Jesuits, got married, learned all these therapies, and developed family constellations.
Wow. That's beautiful, because there's a curiosity and an openness that he, going in with a particular initiative and motive, ended up taking
crazy.
Away and offering,
perpetuating
something that is now finding different corners of the world and helping people heal.
Yeah. So I went to San Miguel to see Stephanie, who started the group here at CASA, Stephanie Richmond, and her site is healperceptions.com.
Okay.
Anybody that meets Stephanie will be a better human being for meeting her. So now she has a place outside of San Miguel where she rescues horses, donkeys, and mules that are just wandering the desert, lost from their whatever. She's doing family constellations with them as representatives instead of people as representatives. And you have to see it to really get it.
Wow.
They don't overthink their role.
Yeah, no. They're not in their head.
They just get right to it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see. We were out there and they'll have a pecking order, no, I drink water first, I get the first bite of the hay, you guys stand back here. And there's a line, When Annette chose this horse to represent something, we were sitting down and the horse came over and put its head between us. and started just breathing into our ears back and forth. All the senior horses lined up behind this one, totally out of their natural order, and stood there until it was done.
Wow.
And then they went back and did their usual behavior. It was like the willingness to serve overrode their animal instincts. And that's possible for us.
Wow. That's beautiful. Yeah, is there on her website, does she have video demonstrations or something that can give us a picture of what that looks like? Okay.
Yeah. And if you're ever in San Miguel, definitely look her up. And she teaches people how to be facilitators of constellations with people or animals. And it's a beautiful thing.
As you continue with your work with family constellations in this season of life, as you are holding space consistently, what has been something that has moved you recently, or just what have you learned, I guess?
Yeah, and it's always learning. And so I don't know if you know your Enneagram number, or if you pay attention to those personality things. Okay, all right. So Stephanie has a quick test, and we do it because it's been used for thousands of years in spiritual growth. And so 3 intelligence centers. The most fundamental is the body intelligence center, then the heart, and then the head. When they line up in that order, the head is wonderful, and it gives us that capacity to be human and be aware that we're here, being aware of all these experiences. When this one lines up first, like in our culture, it wakes up in the morning going, oh, I'm alarmed. When it's in charge, it just makes stuff up. I mean, the best story it can, based on what was inherited, and it ends up being all kind of out of order. So I come at things like Enneagram 5 personality. It's the configuration of the nervous system that my family needed when I was born into the family, because I died at birth, or nearly died at birth, and had to be resuscitated. Some pain medicine shot was involved, and that's why I became an anesthesiologist, is because I had to relive that for my mommy. So my mommy felt guilty that she did a bad thing and took a pain medicine shot, and that she ruined my brain because I was blue and had to be resuscitated. So I had to show my mommy I was smart enough to get through medical school. I had to show my mommy that it's okay to give people pain medicine on purpose, to make them stop breathing on purpose, and then take care of their breathing while their appendix is removed or whatever's going on. I didn't know that's what I was doing, so it was miserable because it was all unconscious. And after 10 years of that in Fredericksburg, I just couldn't do it anymore. Until I found the recall healing people, I didn't know that. And so now I sit with folks and we go through this, whatever they got downloaded here, and that's determined the job they're doing. That determined the partner or partners they chose. That determines the flow of their financial resources until it doesn't. And it's amazing to see that, I can have an illusion of free choice, but it's all being dictated by the autopilot program until it's not. So.
To liberate that part of ourselves. And I'm curious, how does, for people coming into family constellations, like how does one tap into that deep subconscious programming? Like how do you draw your awareness? Because it is, like you say, in the subconscious, hard to access. How do you coax that?
And the funny thing is, it's completely effortless. Even redneck, educated people can just show up there, sit in a chair, get chosen for a role, and they'll get up and say or do something, and you'll see the client cry. God, that's just what Grandpa said, And this person just drove into town, and somebody told them you ought to stop by, and they did, and
watch it.
They have no training in anything woo-woo, so they don't need to know anything about how to focus or how to change their attention. It happens automatically in the field. Because there's something about the field that wants us to be serving and connected more than we even know how to do it.
Wow.
So even the most, like, if you're really intuitive and really advanced, you probably shouldn't come.
Yeah.
It's better to just show up and not know what's going on.
Right.
And go, oh, you know, my knee hurts. As soon as she touched me, my knee started hurting, you know, and then you find out, you know, about the accident that grandma had that crushed her knee, and, you know, and the client is going, oh my gosh, this is in my subconscious. I had this image all this time, and I've been reenacting knee issues in myself trying to save my grandmother.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part of this program, because it sucks in the suffering of the family. By the way, the nervous system forms in the cymatics of the suffering. The nervous system literally takes on the suffering of the family tree between conception and 1 year old, and it works. It reduces the suffering
From your folks.
family
Yeah,
tree.
from your family. Okay, I gotcha.
At the cost of this body,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
If that idea persists past early childhood, life is going to suck.
Yeah.
Because the brain is going to think whenever somebody's in trouble back there, all I have to do is beat myself up.
Yeah.
So the nervous system will beat up my body on certain anniversaries, literally believing that it's saving mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
And it's not. It did the first time.
Right.
That's why it's being repeated.
Yeah. At specific, so there is a rhyme or
yeah.
reason for
It's
the timing of things.
It's a computer program. And so I draw people's program timelines. You have two basic program timelines. And when people start adding it up, they go, holy shit, it's like every 8 years this is happening. And you find out, you know, when the person was 8 months pregnant, mom and dad had a big argument and they split. It's going to replay every 8 years in the person's life.
Wow.
Until it's changed. I mean, it's mathematically precise.
Wow.
I'm not the only one doing this.
Yeah.
I learned it from a bunch of other people who've been doing it for decades. And it really helps us to see it. Like, our true self is not mathematically precise, it's present.
Right.
Things just shift in presence. There's no math to it, right? But the program, it's got math.
Man.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing, you know, in the work itself, when in family constellations, like like you talked about that guy driving in from out of town, and saying exactly what needs to be said in order for this person who's walking through this to heal. Like, what is happening at the invisible level?
You're giving me goosebumps now. So this happens every week. And I think, oh, it's probably not going to happen this week. You know, my brain, it's just like, no, it's going to fall apart. You're going to show up there by yourself.
You're like, no
look
way.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I've been doing this since 2002.
Okay.
You know, but it's still like, it probably won't work this time.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a black man who, very prominent in the community, does a lot of good business stuff, but serious health issue. And very cognizant of racial prejudices here in the South, you know, that persist. And so he shows up for a constellation. I think, oh my God, he's going to be the only black person here, you know, and, you know, like a piece of chocolate and you know, in the milk. And, you know, it's like, golly, I wish it wasn't like that, you know. But I show up, and turns out, it has never happened since, the first 4 people that showed up were all black people.
Wow.
So I was the marshmallow and the chocolate there for quite a while, you know. And it was so good. You know, I could not have orchestrated that. Those people didn't come back again. They were just passing through, and I wanted to check it out.
Wow.
And they were beautiful.
Wow.
You know, so something bigger is in charge. And we're being set up. And the near-death people, I think, would tell us, we've got ancestors, angels, and spirit guides. They're continually setting us up to feel the heart love that's been flowing through them the entire time of our life.
Wow.
But the drama obscures it. But the heart love, even on a magnetic level, the brain, I think, is 1,000 times weaker magnetism than the heart. So the heart love's been coming through the whole time.
Man. That's incredible, and there is this, I imagine it's the same force and energy at work as this, like, it's magical to experience synchronicity in your life, and just like there is this where it seems like coincidence, but that, you know, we're being guided, or there feels like that heart resonance when we experience synchronicity, where we're like, what? And so is that part of possibly what is those
Sure.
tethers?
You keep going with that, JT, till you get it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is for you.
Right.
And your way of expressing it will be really important,
Yeah.
you know? I'm thinking of this young woman who came in, and she had a 2-year-old, and she had developed this thing that was her agnostic label was ITP, idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, which means that somehow autoimmune, another label, her body is killing her own platelets. And
Idiopathics, they don't know.
that's what it means.
Yeah, okay.
We've got some idiots describing the pathos.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you know, and including myself here. And so, and she tends to bleed out, and you know, has to get platelet transfusions and things like that. And so they sorted out that somehow there was an infection that was irritating her spleen, and the spleen is a place where you can eat your own platelets and recycle them, and it was just doing it too well. So I had a TV show in Odessa back in 2000, 2001. It was a Christian show on God's Learning Channel. And her grandmother watched that show and put it together. And I might start crying during this. So the grandmother, the great-grandparents, the great-grandfather, and her 2-year-old came in and told us the story. And it was like, oh my gosh, so here's the story. When Grandma was the same age as this little one, which is when this platelet stuff started, Grandma's mother died after giving birth. There was some products of conception left inside, and when they went in to clean all that out, she got an infection after that procedure. It went to her spleen, it killed all her platelets, and she bled to death. So here's the great-granddaughter replaying the same story, right? Now, I wasn't really sure what to do with all this, except I knew that if we gave her like vaginal ozone, maybe it would clear up any infection that she had, and it would go up into her spleen, because it's part of the lymph system. And sure enough, it worked. But we had to do it every month. Because once the ozone part wore off, the story, the love story, she's trying to bleed to death so she can bring her great-grandmother back to life. That's how her nervous system took that on. Right. She didn't know that. Yeah. I don't know that either. If I'd have known that, I would have explained it to her and nothing would have happened. You know, because an explanation just is, you know, kind of powerless. Yeah. All right, so I had a friend there who was very good at moving energy and representing in constellations, and so we ended up setting a constellation where my friend laid down and represented her great-grandmother who had died, and she personally laid down next to her. And my friend and her had a conversation where great-grandma said, honey, this is mine. This is my fate. I love you. I want to see you do well. And that energy authentically came across in this woman, and that was it. Her spleen was fine, no more infection, and her platelets are good. Oh my gosh. But she needed to hear it from her great-grandmother. Yeah. Because that's the love story. She wanted her great-grandmother to come back alive so that her grandma would have a happy childhood. Wow. And that's triggered when her child turns the same age as the grandma when her mother died. She's trying to die at the same age as the great-grandmother. It's all just mathematically precise. And it's all reversible in like 5 to 10 minutes. Wow. But it's 5 to 10 minutes of intense love. Yeah. That's greater than the autopilot love. It's a living, moving, heart-centered love. Yeah. And it changed everything for her. Yeah. Now she can be a mommy. Oh my goodness. That heart coherence is, you know, it seems like a particular heavy focus for you at this moment in time, and as a collective, what we're experiencing. So this is a little, you know, heart coherence monitor. They just discontinued this model, sadly, but you can get the inner balance, which does the same thing. You can hook it up to your finger or to an earlobe,
I think.
and when you push this, these little lights and tones come on. You want it set on one bar on each end, but I'll turn up the light so people can see it. And it'll pick up a pulse if I have a good pulse to my finger today. And so I'm kind of in my head right now talking, so it'd be a red light. If I had it on, we were telling the spleen story and I was about to cry, it would have gone blue or green, telling me that yeah, see, just even to remember that, I start going into higher coherence, right? And so, so that's, I know, right? And I did not discover this by some insight. I discovered this through an uncomfortable accident or circumstance or synchronicity. We were all set up. A woman I'd been in group therapy with brought her daughter in with asthma, and I didn't know what to do for her daughter, so I asked her daughter to put this on, and I had met the recall healing people, and this will be very useful for everyone watching. The only place you can get Jobert Renault's book, Recall Healing, Pyramid of Health, is at soultreetransformations.com. That's Dr. Michelle Dawson.
Okay. She's
a PhD in recall healing, and she has the books. But you can't find it any other place.
Interesting.
So, soultreetransformations.com. So anyway, so I asked the little girl, I just put this on her on a humbug because I don't know what to say to the mother. I feel embarrassed. Doctors are supposed to know.
Yeah, you want to feel the confidence that, hey.
I know, right? Yeah. Right, yeah. Supposed to do that confident thing. It's hard to do when somebody's been in group therapy with you and knows all your little, weak spots.
Right.
So anyway, I give her the book and I said, okay, just read this thing on asthma. So she's sitting over there reading. I'm talking to the mom. And all of a sudden I hear that ping, like you just heard. I said, what did you just read? And she goes, investigate the history of cheating in your family. As soon as she read that, the mother burst into tears and ran out of the room.
Wow.
Because the little girl's asthma started. See, and I'm going into the highest coherence now, remembering that part of the story. Yeah. And that's just my heart saying focusing here is a good idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean true or false or good or bad. So the mother had started seeing someone else and thought it was secret, was keeping it secret, but in the subconscious realm, unconscious, there's no secrets in a family. Everybody knows everything, just like the Leonard Cohen song. Everybody knows the dice are loaded. Everybody knows the fight is fixed, Everybody knows. We don't know we know it, but we all know it, right? So my partner stood in for her mom, I stood in for her father, and she stood in for herself, this 13-year-old girl. And we took her through the sentences of, we're taking this out of your nervous system, you're just a little one. This belongs with us and we know what to do with it. And she sobbed through the whole thing. And then her asthma was, her air was not confused about where to go.
Wow.
Which is what asthma is.
Yeah.
The air is trapped in the middle of the breathing tube. It doesn't know whether to go out or go back this way. Right?
Yeah.
Just like somebody who, I want to be with my lover, but I miss my kids. The air doesn't know which way to go, and she was reenacting that in her body. There was nothing wrong with her body. She loved her mommy and her daddy. Her nervous system was creating that on purpose as a way of showing love to her parents. When she found a new way to show love to her parents, let the big ones take it.
Yeah.
That's the highest love for a little one.
Yeah.
The program goes, we will reprogram. We will no longer create asthma in your body. You found another way to love your mother and father in the midst of an affair.
Yeah.
Go in peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just like the old Jesus words in the Bible, if a person gets free of leprosy, go in peace, I know.
Gosh.
And it kind of blew my mind. I didn't know what happened. Can't get on the TV show and talk about stuff like that in Sunday school language. I mean, what am I going to say? We didn't invoke the right dogma words
Yeah.
To do that, you're going to get kicked out if we say how it happened. So I didn't say anything for like 15 years.
Well, thank you for speaking up, you
Yeah.
know, and doing the work that you're doing. How has that taken shape, I guess, now in your life? I very briefly visited your website. Please share your website. And yeah, just your line of work, your purpose, your dharma at this point in time. Can you speak to that? Like what comes up for you in this moment?
Yeah. So it looks like part of what I'm doing. I think it's just richardmasseymd.com. I think that's what it is. And it's a web page that my friend did for free.
Yeah.
You know, and we're constantly changing things, you know, on there. So don't believe everything on there. If you find something useful, great. You know, it looks like part of what I'm up to is being a transition person from believing in diagnosis to believing in heart intelligence as an experience, not as a belief. There's a frequency, as we were talking about earlier, of heart intelligence. It's an experience, not an idea.
Yeah.
And so we move from this diagnosis idea to heart intelligence. So that seems to be my part in helping people see that, oh, these things that we gave a diagnostic label to, somehow when I follow heart intelligence, that fades away. You know?
Yeah.
Like the John Lennon quote, life is what happens while we're busy making other plans. If I'll follow the heart plans, this other stuff falls away. I don't necessarily need to focus on it.
For those of the listeners who might struggle with tapping into or even knowing what that even feels like, do you have any practical experience? Like what helps you drop into your heart coherence, you know, like
lots of suffering. And, you know, and not everybody needs to do that. But that's why I like this little thing. So the inner balance now is the one they have. You can find used ones of these maybe on eBay or Amazon, but when you get that, this thing helps a person who's a novice to this figure out which ideas, which things they're writing, which things they're doing are heart intelligence based, and which ones are simply programmed head intellect. So, like when I did Byron Katie worksheets as part of Alcoholics Anonymous recovery, you know, my business partner shouldn't have done that, you know, and I'd do Byron Katie's inquiry and turn it around. This thing, as soon as I get to the turnaround, the opposite of a belief that works for me, this thing will turn green. And lets me know that's where my heart wants to focus. And after a while, you get to where you can get the feeling of what that's like. It's like a training wheels on a bicycle, you know, and you kind of get to where you can, oh, okay, I think I can go without them now. But in the beginning, this helped. I also do gestalts with people, and we're about to start the gestalt class up again. So a gestalt class goes like this. So I had a friend who likes to stay in shape, ex-military, does wind sprints every morning. I don't know who does that. So, and he calls me. He says I pull my hamstring, and you can see a vignette of this on the Way Forward podcast with Alex Zeck. They kind of made a little vignette. And so he wants me to come over and inject his hamstring with ozone, because we both work with ozone and it helps. So I go over there, and no sooner I get in the door, he starts talking about the woman in his life. And they both knew that he was going to propose that night, and they had the place set up and everything. They both know. And the day, I'm going into my heart again. So the day before, she reads in this list of everything she needs for him to do if she's going to say yes. I need this multi-million-dollar house and this part of this town, and I need this and I need that, or I'm not going to say yes. You know, it's like, oh, you know. So, and he won't set it aside while we work on his leg. So I said, okay. So I put an empty chair in front of him and I said, picture her in the chair. Let her have it. Tell her how you feel about this, you know. And so he just lets her have it, right? And then I said, all right, you done? Yeah. They'll go sit in her chair. And he gets up to go sit in her chair, and on the way over there, he realizes his leg doesn't hurt anymore. So we looked it up online, and it turns out that if you have a really, really hurt hamstring, you can't kneel on one knee and propose.
Oh, wow.
So his brain cut off the blood flow, turned down some of the blood flow, so it would hurt so bad he could not propose under these conditions.
Wow.
And he got it.
Wow.
You know, and he didn't propose.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. That is powerful.
Yeah, see, and I just go into the highest coherence
green.
as soon as we get there. Because we got to the solution. And the solution was you don't propose under those conditions for him. That would have been against his own heart.
Yeah. That, I'm going to have to pick one of those up because that is amazing. There's specific things that I know that I can do that will help me transition out of my head into my heart. And that's being immersed in, I know being immersed in nature for me, if I'm barefoot, walking in the green belt.
See, just hearing you say it, I'm starting to go into.
If I go into the water, you know, being aware of the foods that I'm putting in my body, you know, just taking that care.
Taking that care. See, as soon as you talk about taking care with food, right? And the water, all that comes in, because that's a reprogramming of the origin story. Mom is our first food. Mom is our water.
Wow.
So you're getting a rebirthing.
Yeah.
And it reprograms that original program.
Yeah.
You're realizing you can do it for yourself.
Wow. Yeah, because, you know, I mean, the nutrients that's being transferred in, you know, in our mother's stomach, you know, the umbilical cord, and then after that in breastfeeding, you know, that is the nutrients. That is literally everything that is building our.
No, I know.
You know, and so.
And the loyalty love story will be laid down like you have a mafia level loyalty to taking care of your mother how she was back then. Yeah. And it's never going to change unless it gets reprogrammed somehow. Yeah. Some people do that through nature. Yeah.
It's definitely a pathway for me. You know, as we're talking about eating and the food, you know, being cognizant of what food we're putting in our body, this image came up for me that, you know, I've recently realized that when I eat so fast. Like it's gonna go away. Yeah. And I'm curious, like, you know, that's something that I get to unpack.
And I would ask your mom.
Yeah. Wow. Why?
What it was like when you came out.
Yeah.
All right. So for everybody out there, and I learned this all from Jobert Renaud. God bless you, Dr. Renaud. He's doing most of his teaching in Israel and Eastern Europe. He goes to places that are war-torn and helps people find inner peace. When you wake up in the morning and come to your first mirror of the day, is the feeling welcoming or is it a feeling of being evaluated?
Evaluated.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a loyalty to the origin story. The brain always compares things, the subconscious program always compares things to the first time it happened. The first look you get, if you're born in a hospital, you got to pass 2 pop quizzes before you go to your mom. They're called APGAR tests. They look at your skin color, your muscle tone, how you're breathing, da-da-da-da, right? You get an evaluation, not like, oh, welcome to this world. It's like, oh, that's you know.
Wow.
So we replay that, not even realizing that it's a loyalty to the first look we got.
Yeah.
So when we go to the mirror, we can behaviorally overcome that by just practicing saying welcome whenever we notice it. Yeah, you get a little ping there. And or we can go back in that scene, which I do sometimes with people with the heart coherence monitor on, and they'll lie down and I'll ask them to go back into the birth scene. And as their adult self, put their hands there with the person's hands who's guiding the baby and look into their own little newborn eyes and say welcome. And let that be the first look.
Wow.
And then they can just naturally start to welcome themselves in the morning.
Yeah.
And remember that movement. You know?
Yeah.
So we're redoing these things that happened the first time. Right? and I put an IV in people, their brain remembers, their subconscious replays the feeling of their first IV, which is
Oh, yeah.
belly button.
Yep.
That's why IVs are so effective, is because I'm the little one now, and I'm receiving liquid, mother, as if I was in the womb again.
Yeah.
I'm getting a rebirthing opportunity every IV. I just relax into that,
Yeah.
take my adult self back there and put my hand over mom's pregnant belly and go, yeah, blessings, man.
What a powerful recreation, you know?
It is, and rebirthing is vital. Hellinger said if a constellation doesn't solve your issue, go to rebirthing. Yeah, I got a ping on that.
Yeah, you did.
You know,
Confirmed.
yeah, rebirthing is huge, and however you do it,
Yeah.
it's really vital to do.
Yeah.
Like the way a person sees work in their life is how literally how their mother felt during labor.
Interesting. Yeah.
So if mom is like going with this is challenging, but I'm present and I'm staying with it, and I know we're going to succeed, and I'm not scared, and you know, everything's going like I want it. I have my sacred women here. You know, I mean, men aren't supposed to be in there, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, if you just look at the patterns that work the best. Sacred women are here. We're under the birthing tree. You know, this is all really good. That kid will just go right into their work, and it'd just be like part of nature. My job will be like sitting under this tree at Barton Springs. It'll feel like that on the inside.
That would be nice.
Exactly.
That would be so nice.
But a hospital birth, not like that.
Yeah.
Continual worry, continual monitoring, you know, and drips to induce things, and C-sections and all this, you know, and when that happens, that's how that child's subconscious will feel when they take on their school projects or their work later in life.
And that's because it's what our mothers are experiencing on a nervous system level.
Yes, and our nervous systems are one with theirs, right? They show that it's a hypnosis until age 6 or 7.
Yeah.
All right, so I had a woman come in. She's going to get an IV. Her baby is 3 months old and sleeping on the other side of the room. I typically put in a little drop of numbing medicine with a tiny little insulin needle, just a little bit, so they don't feel the bigger IV. The second that needle touched her skin, the baby across the room woke up crying.
Whoa.
Their nervous systems are the same.
Wow.
They're not separate.
Yeah.
The bodies are separate. The nervous systems are identical, okay?
Yeah.
All right, just so I get this.
Yeah.
Same week, a woman comes in with a 3-year-old. You know, sadly to me, the 3-year-old's on the phone playing a video game.
Yeah.
Right? I'm over there doing the same thing on the other side of the room. Little tiny needle touches the skin. We heard the thud of the phone and a scream. Mommy, that hurts.
Wow.
3 years old.
Wow.
Nervous system is the same.
Yeah.
Bodies are different. Same nervous system program, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And if our original thing doesn't get reprogrammed,
Yeah.
we share our nervous system with the family system. The sympathetic system, fight or flight, and the relaxing one that's inside of me doesn't belong to me. Until it gets reprogrammed, it's loyal to the origin story till death.
Yeah.
And it's willing to go through divorces, bankruptcies, terrible medical diagnoses, all kinds of things that'll happen on specific anniversaries and specific triggers because the nervous system doesn't belong to me
Yeah.
as an individual. It belongs to the system.
Yeah.
And so individual medical records, another part of my dharma, is expanding that. An individual medical record only has 1/3 of your possible resources because the bigger 2/3, mommy and daddy, aren't even included. I need mommy and daddy on the family tree. I need their timelines. And when you see that, it's like, I'm growing this lump in my breast out of love for mommy.
Yeah.
It's not because something's wrong with me or some gene isn't there doing this. If it was a gene, why wasn't it there last year?
Yeah.
Suddenly a new gene pops up. I mean, this is news to me, you know. I thought, you know, the egg and the sperm, that was the...
Yeah.
So,
Man, talk about a level of awareness, you know, that I feel like, man, I want to do it with my family like immediately because I've not done that before.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so that we can look at this timeline
with your inner family. Don't bring your actual family to a constellation.
Yeah.
Unless they've done a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see what your subconscious inherited, and they're going to be upset about it.
Right.
Because theirs inherited something different.